Preparedness. I am sitting on the couch, Pastor Joe Fox, and this is
Sister Kate.
and we are here recovering at our alternate location in High Prairie Acres, and the people have been asking about you a lot and well wishing you and everything.
And thank you for those well wishes and prayers. It makes a difference. Really appreciate it.
And you look like you're doing fine.
My 1 month checkup, I'm healed. But he said like my energy level and stuff just, it kind of goes with the territory and you just kind of see how it works.
So you ready to wrestle goats?
Yeah, probably not. Not really looking forward to that sort of thing.
So Sister Kate got an email from somebody, and they asked her about solar power going off grid.
They just wanted to know if off grid is worth it.
Is worth it. So we are obviously not off grid here right now. That's why we're here, right?
Correct.
What are some of the things you're enjoying about being here?
Things that make life easier. The electric dishwasher, the electric clothes washer, hot water and cold water on tap, thermostat, furnace, stove, refrigerator, all that stuff does make life easier.
So what about when we're off grid?
Off grid, we have all those things. We have a dishwasher, that's me. We have a clothes washer,
That's her.
me. We have water, the hot water, that's me. I have to heat that up. We
So I'm
have
good.
to carry the water. It's just everything is there. You know, we have a comfortable life there too. It's just harder. It takes more energy, and on one hand, that's great. I mean, helps us stay fit. One reason I recovered so quickly from my surgery is because I was fit before I went in.
And I am getting fat here. I don't know if y'all can tell it, but I can tell it. I'm just like, and I figured out, one, I am eating more. You know, at Shofar Mountain, what time do we retire?
Oh, 6-ish. Right. I make
Seriously.
dinner and then we're done.
You know, our house is chilly. It gets dark, and since we don't have electricity, you know, we have little headlamps, and we have the ability to do oil lamps and all that, but it's just such a pain in the neck. It's dark. We get in bed and we read or look at a laptop or something, and then we go to
Once the power
sleep.
dies on the laptop, once your computer battery's dead, that's it.
And so here we've got electricity, so we're up later. I'm surfing the web. You're surfing the web, watching Netflix videos.
We can take a bath. We
And
can
then, you
run
know, about
downstairs.
10 o'clock, it's like, you a little hungry? We have this big old refrigerator and a stove, and food is just bam. So yeah, there's that, eating too much, and then our day-to-day life here is not physical at all.
Right, it's not as physically hard. So, is off-grid worth it? Yeah, off-grid's worth it. It's worth it in other ways. It's worth it in peace of mind because you don't have the constant input that an electric-filled life has for you. Radio, your phone, your computer, TV if you have
let me
it,
talk
and all
about that for a second. I've read before, and I didn't really quite understand it until we came back here this time for Kate's recovery, that covering up the little LED lights in your bedroom will give you a better sleep. Well, we've got things plugged in that do those little lights here, and yeah, it bugs me. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, it feels like there's a UFO landing in the room, and the reality is there's not very much light, but compared to what we have at Shofar Mountain, when I open up my eyes and I'm looking through a glass door at the woods, yeah, it's a lot of light, and it does bug me, and it's interfering.
It's just constant input. And so life down there is quieter and less stress. Another thing, obviously, is all the physical stuff we have to do and how far we have to walk to do it. That makes you exercise whether you want to or not. So that's a bonus. But also, there's no bills down there. With a house and electric and running water, you have to pay all that. You have to pay a mortgage and electric and insurance and the water bill and everything. And when you live off grid, those things are on you. That doesn't mean off-grid is totally free. You have costs up front. You have to get your solar system. You have to buy the batteries and things
And I
like
want to
that.
talk about that. A lot of people, and I've talked to a couple people in the last couple months about this, they picture going from this to off-grid and living the same kind of thing. So I want to turn lights on all over the house. I mean, we've got lights on in the house now. I want to be able to do this with water, do this with, they just want to transfer their life and be unplugged from the grid but still do everything. If you want to do that, it's going to cost a lot of money. to do that.
You can do it. It's just a lot of upfront costs.
And we didn't. And so what we looked at was there were healthy, happy people before electricity was run to all the houses. And so we have really reduced our need for electricity.
Well,
I mean-
we didn't have a choice.
We didn't have a choice, so we got used to it. But we don't have a lot of, we have enough electricity for us to charge cell phones and charge laptops and stuff like that, but not run them like we do here.
You won't have air conditioning. You won't, not directly unless you get a huge solar setup. And as far as we know, because ours is still small, you need about 2,000 watts to run like a sort of semi-normal house.
I have no idea.
I'm
I
pretty
don't know.
sure it's about 2,000 watts. And if you get your panels at $1 a watt, that's a really good price. Now that's probably going to be a used system or something that's on sale. It's going to cost more than that if
But
you
then
buy
you
it
need
brand
panels, you need battery banks, you need controllers and inverters, and you need the wire to run it, and you need the building or the roof rack or however you're gonna set this whole thing up. I mean, it costs money if you wanna do it big, and we're doing it, you know, you've seen other videos on this channel, we do it a little bit at a time. But my advice to people is not to look at it like you wanna just transfer, unless you have a lot of money, and then do
new. Right.
whatever
If you
you
sell
want.
your house and it gives you a lot of money, then you can buy
But-
whatever setup you want.
My advice is to just change your lifestyle a little bit. It's like when you conceal carry. For many people, you have to change what you wear and how you wear it when you start concealed carrying. You can't wear tight-fitting clothing anymore, generally speaking. And so you have to change how you dress to accommodate your concealed carry. Well, the way I look at going off grid, you have to change the way you live, which, you know, we still take baths every day down there,
Right.
and they're just, for us, it's not as comfortable.
You do want a water source on wherever you're going if you're going off grid. You can catch rain and that can be your water source. And the way we do it works, but I really think it's going to be the easiest thing if you can have a gravity filled situation going on or gravity powered water situation going on right from the get-go. So your water storage uphill or up somehow from where you are going to be using it. And that way you can have tap, you can have pipes that'll, when you turn the water under pressure, will come out and you won't have to pump and stuff like we do. But, you know, if you don't have a pond or a stream or whatever, rain catchment works. And they've been doing it in Australia for years. So
And,
think about that.
A lot of people, well, a few people that I've talked to recently, do this deal where they get the state or the utility company or somebody to pay them money, and they put their solar panels up, and then they're selling that electricity back to the state or the utility company or whatever. But the problem, that's called like a grid tie-in, I think. And hey, truth in advertising, we're not solar experts by any stretch of the imagination. We're just telling you what we're doing and what we know.
Experience, that's it.
But those grid tie-in systems, generally speaking, are rather expensive. It takes a while to see a payoff in your investment. And two, when the grid goes down, they don't work. So when the power goes out in your city, they don't work. And to me, that's like, okay, well, that's a totally different system than I want to be a little bit self-sufficient, or I want to have the ability to be self-sufficient.
Right, and the other thing about solar panels is they are creating a current, and that current is related to how much sun you're getting, and you can power things through the day, but yes, they won't work at night.
And that's where you rely on how much battery storage you accumulated during the day, because then you start drawing your batteries down, and you can't draw them down flat. You know, it's like 80% of the battery, and then you got to kind of stop drawing off the battery or you kill it. And so if you want to be able to power a lot of stuff when there's no sun, you need lots of batteries, and then you need lots of panels to fill those batteries up for the time. And so what we've done is we just have that simple little system you've seen on the other videos, and we just don't power that much. And we have a bigger system in the building, you know, that we're in the process of building, that'll give us more. But you know, I think it's a lifestyle change.
Right, it's a lifestyle change, and it's worth it if you want to cut down on your bills. So you have to plan it. You don't, you know, buy a piece of land and go into debt for the land and then try to set up an off-grid thing. You want to be debt-free when you get there and have some sort of income to buy these things that are going to be necessary to make your off-grid living comfortable, if that makes sense.
So, I mean, there's that, and the downsides are, hey, it's harder. You know, we're getting older, and Sister Kate's recovering. She doesn't have near the stamina that she had before her operation, and it's nice to have hot and cold running water and a dishwasher and, you know, electricity and a thermostat that I don't have to go out and get more wood from the woodshed and then, you know, spend the next day replacing it and that kind of thing. I mean, those are true benefits, right? And so a lot of times I think while I'm sitting here in this very comfortable environment, it might be good to take what you have, like most people watching this live in something like this, right? You know, a real house as you were, and then start doing the off-grid things to help it out or to be there when the balloon goes up, when the power goes out, when everything chaos happens or whatever. Convert your regular house into that.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Even though we're in a regular house, we do have little things already that help us cut down on bills and help us be a little bit more self-sufficient. We have a wood stove, we have a water source outside. So if for some reason the water stopped working or wasn't, you know, fit or something, we have water.
That's probably another video.
Right, we have water. So yes, you can apply, you can start making yourself more off-grid, less grid dependent, even in your regular home.
Yeah, and that is probably a good subject for another video. Like right now, we're wearing layers. Somebody asked me on one of my videos, "Why are you always wearing a hoodie and a hat? Is it cold in your house?" Yeah, it's kind of chilly. Like, what do you think it is right here? 50 something.
Yeah, it's what 10 degrees cooler down here, so like 55 in the bottom part of the house, and then we keep the.
And I usually shoot my videos in the morning, so I've just gotten out of a warm bed and it feels colder than 55. So I've got more clothes on.
And
I'm sitting drinking my
65
coffee.
in the other level, so
But-
it's cool.
Hey, we're getting older. We can do it. You can do it. You just got to decide what you want in life and then kind of do your best to see in the future and set yourself up so that, you know, you're on a continual upward glide path. That's about it for this video for me.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you out there and...
Shalom.